Hi everyone. So, welcome back to Rebirth a Gift. I am Stacy Benton. I am the author of this highly anticipated novel, Rebirth a Gift. I am a MBA graduate, entrepreneur, and mother. So, just want to welcome you back to the channel. I really appreciate your time and your energy, and absolutely taking on this journey and this challenge of healing and restoring from your complex trauma. And that can include childhood abuse, toxic relationship, domestic violence issues. You may be healing and may have gotten trauma or traumatized from a sickness or illness. So whatever your challenge that you're going through, however your trauma has been created or have happened, I really want to encourage you in this moment that it's going to be okay. That once you get through this, once you elevate and you heal, you will see that so many aspects of your life is going to change, that this is just a new foundation, a new beginning that you are building in your life. And as you do the work, as you do the work every single day, as you focus your energy and your spirit and your mind and your soul upon healing, you will absolutely see a powerful transformation. So this is what this channel is about. It's about transforming that trauma from your childhood, from a domestic violence or toxic relationship of any sort, or that sickness or that illness or whatever the case may be that caused your trauma, that as you begin to heal, as you begin to actually do the work, you will see that that will become transformed. And that is a very key word. That trauma will be transformed into a powerful experience, into a powerful life experience for you. And every aspect of your life will begin to transform. That includes your health, your wealth, your relationships. Also, you will see changes in your mindset, your soul, as your soul heals and goes through that healing process of those wounds of the past. You begin to see that your life will dramatically start to shift. However, you have to do the work. Okay, so this is what this channel is about. It's about applying the tools and actually doing the exercises that's going to help you transform yourself, help you transform your life as you partner with the infinite one, the God, the creator of the heavens and the earth. Because if you just think about it, so far you most likely have been trying to do this alone, or you haven't completely partnered with God. You haven't completely um, attached your soul to the supreme being in a way to say, well, I'm strong. It's not saying that I'm not strong. It's not saying that you're not strong or you don't have the inner strength. But this particular aspect of your life, this particular aspect of your soul is what is traumatizing. And this is where you have to tap into a higher supreme power to move forward. And as you start to partner with this higher being, this supreme being that not only created the heavens and the earth, but also created you with a very specific mind, with a very specific purpose and mindset. So when God created you, there is a reason for that. So there is a reason for your life. There's a reason that you experience this trauma. And as you begin to heal and do the work, you will notice that every aspect of yourself will begin to blossom like a flower blooming. It will begin to blossom again like a butterfly coming out of its cocoon. You begin to see life in a much lighter sense. You will begin to see relationships that has been damaged and destroyed as a result of the trauma. And that's on so many aspects. As you do the inner work, you will start to see that everything around you will begin to shift, and it will be a dramatic shift. Okay. And this is why I am very passionate about this channel. Again, this is not about subscribers. This is not about all this other noise or things that's really not important. What this channel is about is to help you to become motivated, to become empowered, so you can now feel strong enough to tackle this aspect of your soul. And just on a personal note here, part of what I will be sharing on this channel is just my own personal testimony and or my own story of how I had to go on my own journey of healing, because the person that I am today is not the person that I was years ago. And I am very transparent that it has been a tedious, strenuous process. However, it has been extremely transformative. And as you start to, it's like your soul begins to search for answers. As you see your soul searching for reasons why, you started to question God. Why did this happen? Why was this allowed to happen? Why am I in this situation? Why did I get hurt in this manner? That's when you start to see you will begin to heal, because you're asking the tough questions. Sometimes life will, bow, it'll hit you so hard that it will knock you spinning. And it's like you're being hit in the spirit, in your soul, by a tractor truck. Okay, can you imagine that? Can you imagine the impact that happens when someone gets into a very bad wreck with a tractor truck or a diesel truck? That impact is like a bomb. So this is a very vivid description of the analogy I'm trying to paint of what you have gone through as a result of your trauma. It's like your spirit has been impacted, your soul, that your mind, will, and emotions have been impacted in such a way that has been so detrimental that you're questioning not only God, but now you feel a sense of rage and anger towards God. And those individuals that was involved in that devastating impact. But then that's when we have to take a step back once the dust settles. Okay, like if you ever been in a car accident, maybe not as bad as a diesel truck, but that next day it's like you're so sore. It's like your neck hurt, your back hurt, your knee hurt. It's just like, oh my gosh, everything around me seems to thrive in my body. So I want you to think of that as now everything in your life has been shaken. It's hurting. Your relationships are hurting as a result of the trauma. Your finances are hurting. Your purpose and what you were chosen or called to do is hurting as a result of the trauma. So when you start to really think about your own personal experience, and I'm saying this because with my own journey of healing and restoration, I really, really felt like God was beating me down. And not really looking at it from a perspective of, okay, I'm going to get through this. Eventually, it's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not how you think. The first initial reaction is just pain. It's like you're thrust into this world that is only giving back pain and suffering. But sometimes, all the time, the reason for this pain and suffering is to awaken you. is to absolutely transform you. The purpose is for you to be transformed, but it's to really awaken you that, oh wow, what is really going on in my life? What's really going on in your life? Why did this happen to you? And sometimes it can be God's divine intervention, the reason why certain really catastrophic things happen. For instance, I refer all the time on this channel, and part of my story is that I went through foster care. I was adopted into a very traumatic childhood home, adoptive home, that it absolutely destroyed my little soul as a child. And as I got older, I had so much anger because of what happened. And I'm a person that's very transparent. I'm not going to sugarcoat it here. If you're looking for someone to make you feel good just for the moment, then, and you're not really focused on healing your trauma from your childhood wounds, your mother wounds, your father wounds, the wounds of your family, then you're going to continue to go down this kind of rabbit hole of just trying to feel good for the moment. And this is how individuals get involved in different types of addictions that's not healthy. It's because you're trying to band-aid the pain instead of now facing it head on. And it comes a time where you have to face it head on. And I'm so thankful to the Most High that I never adapted an addictive personality or any type of addiction. And that was just the grace of God. And I thank God for the mercy and the grace to get through this. But an enormous aspect of me getting through these very challenging experiences, not only as a child, but in my adulthood, okay? Because this is just a snippet of the trauma. So I am an expert when it comes to absolutely experiencing trauma on so many levels, but also transforming that, connecting to the higher power, not only within myself, because God has already placed that in you, but now connecting that power that was placed into me, which is your spirit, your human spirit, connecting that back to God, and now seeking for answers from a higher consciousness that is more intelligent than you, that's more supreme and pure in intentions than you and those that are around you. So that's when I really begin to see that these experiences was more profound, that this really, and this only happens when I start to heal. Like I'm gonna have to keep it real. No, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I just, and I've seen people like this and they're not telling the truth. It's like you went from being this very torn individual that's hurting because of their trauma in childhood to now, oh, I'm on top of the world. It's like, okay, what happened in between there? Okay. So this is why me as just an individual, I'm a very realistic person when it comes to just how I look at life in so many areas, that sometimes you have to be real. And what I mean by real, just being honest with yourself, honest with what you experienced. And sometimes that can be difficult because when you have gone through so much, and millions of you, I know who I am called to, you have gone through so much that now you're giving up not only on yourself, you're giving up on God, you're giving up on life. It's like, if you're in school, I'm ready to quit, I'm ready to give it up. If you had aspirations of pursuing athleticism in college or in high school, you're ready to give up because the situations you're going through is just too traumatic. And that's where it could be very detrimental to your progression if you make the wrong decisions in the midst of your trauma mind. Your traumatized mind is not a mind that needs to make quick decisions. You need to think it through. You need to really analyze what's going on in my life. Why is this going on in my life? Was it a result of what happened in my childhood? Are my bad decisions in life now is a result of my trauma? Because what I've experienced is that individuals that traumatize children, it's very seldom that they're going to take the responsibility and say, I'm responsible. So now I'm going to help you fix it. No, 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 no. That's not what happens. That's in the fantasy world. What happens is you're now traumatized as a child, and what that person does, the abuser does, is say, "Well, did that really happen?" Or try to reframe the story and force you to believe a lie that you wasn't really tormented as a child. You did not experience this childhood trauma. So this is a kind of detrimental experiences that happens that really hurts your psyche as you begin to mature. So as you begin to mature and you see that there's something deeper that's going on, because the first thing that you try to do is really get away from the shame and the guilt that was projected onto you. Because that person that was really the culprit is never going to take responsibility. So if you're ever, and I want to really stress this to you guys, if you're looking for an apology for someone that is highly toxic or a narcissist, a real honest apology for how you was raised as a child, and if you continue to just live in la la land or in denial of your trauma, that still is so detrimental to your life. And you will find yourself, when you do not heal properly, and if you never even start the journey of healing, you will find yourself only getting into more difficult situations that now you have to kind of like get through that. When you don't address the trauma, that's when you start to begin to feel more traumatized, because it's like your mind is no longer, it's a kind of like functioning in a haze. It's like you can't really make the proper decisions because you're functioning mostly out of emotions, well, really triggered emotions. And there's several videos that I have done, and I really want to encourage you guys to go back and watch all the videos. Binge watch these, okay? Binge watch these videos because they are going to be absolutely transformative. Because you're getting knowledge and wisdom and information, you're getting educated, inspired, motivated in a very specific niche of someone who has been there, has done the work. And I am not ashamed to say what I've been through. I embrace it. Those are my war wounds. So many of you are going to have these war wounds that when you actually come out of that, you can be like, phew, what? Like, hey, let's go. I feel powerful now. I feel stronger. I don't no longer have to compromise to feel like I'm part of the bigger picture or the bigger collective, or even to feel like you're a human. Because you know now that if you can get through that experience or experiences that should have absolutely taken you out, then you know, okay, well, I know I can get through the next. I know with the help of God, the creator that not only created humanity, but created to me with a very specific idea in mind, with a very specific purpose in mind, now I can be catapulted into the next dimension of my life. And you start to see as you heal That's when you really discover your power, that inner power that has been suppressed because you have gone through so much trauma. And if anyone that's on this channel, that's watching this channel, I really want to give a warning out to you, because if you're watching this channel as a result of trying to critique, trying to find information to be detrimental to someone's progression in life, then you're going to have to answer to the higher force, the creator of the heavens and the earth and the infinite one. So I want to warn you now that if this is your attention, I encourage you to get off the channel, because this is not for you. So then clear up the atmosphere so that someone who really wants to watch the channel can tap into that spiritual energy, so that they can heal and be transformed. And it's coming a time where people who are blocking the transformation of others is about to get shut down and shut out of people's lives, that's hindering their progression. I feel this word. You're hindering the progressions of others. And I feel that the Spirit of God is taking me to a different dimension right now. So I want to follow God. You're hindering the progression of God's people. And God is warning you now that you need to get off and back away from God's people, the ones that's seeking truth. They're seeking to be transformed. They're saying, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of living in this pit situation that I've been dealing with since I was a child. But you're feeding off of their agony and pain. And God is saying that you better get back. It's time to take a step back. Because no longer will you hinder the progression of God's chosen individuals. And this is a warning to you, because I see very clearly there are so many individuals that's attached to this channel that are being stagnated, hindered, because you don't want to do the work. So you are intentionally interfering with the progression of someone that God has selected, and you're stepping in the midst of this. And God is warning you now. Woo! Oh, I thought I was going to go a different direction, but hey, power of God leads me. God is warning you, because there is work, there is purpose, there is reasons why God is allowing and is pulling these individuals higher. So when you continue to step in that path, this is a warning. Number 4 is that you're interfering with the purpose of God. And you don't want to see them free. You don't want to see them grow and expand and express their creativity and to access the realms of God that has been predestined for them. And you're just interfering with the work, the inner work that they are desiring. And I want to really encourage you, those that's on the other side of the spectrum, you really want healing. You're saying enough is enough. But comes a point where you have to stand up for what is right. We all come to these roadblocks in life where you have to stand up for what is right. Not only for yourself, but first for yourself, but also think about those that's around you that you fail to wake up to see how your choices are impacting the ones that's depending on you, like your children, like your wife or your husband or your grandchildren. Come on. It comes a time where you have to stand up for those that have been broken, for those that have felt so torn down or ripped apart. And I'm speaking to another completely segment right now. On the other side, you're torn, but you feel like you don't have the strength to pull yourself out of this pit. And that's why God is saying, come to me. All of you that are heavy laden, I will give you rest. And there comes a point where we have to make that decision that if I'm going to live or I'm going to die, am I going to choose life or I'm going to choose death? Or am I going to choose transformation or I'm going to continue to go down the drain? I'm not going to continue to allow my dreams and aspirations to die because I'm not willing to rise up and push back those individuals, the toxic individuals that is hindering your growth and your level of prosperity that God is trying to bring you to. And this transcends sex and race and all this nonsense. This is about the soul, the state of your soul. And are you going to stand up and fight for you? When are you going to say enough is enough? Like I'm no longer going to keep going in the wrong direction. How long can you continue to go left when you know within yourself, you know within your spirit, your heart, your soul, you know within those aspects of your being that I need to go in a different direction, but you keep going left. There has to be an awakening that takes place. And this is part of your awakening. You have to wake up to the fact that there are some people that do not want to see you ascend. There are people that do not want to see you transcend. There are people that do not want to see you be powerful. How long are you going to continue to be in that state of weakness? And there's times where you are going to feel weak and vulnerable. There are times where you are going to feel like God has forsaken you. There are times when you're going to feel like giving up. That is normal because there's a humanistic nature to all of us, to every human being on the earth. But then there comes a time when there's an epiphany that says, I'm not going to be in this state tomorrow. I'm not going to be in this state next month. Woo! I'm not going to be in this state next year. I'm not going to be in this state 5 years from now. That I'm going to stand up for myself in this time, in this hour in my life, in this month, in this year. It doesn't matter where I came from. It don't matter if I came from the hood or the slum or from the suburbans or from the mansions. There still comes a time where there's a definitive moment where an epiphany, a powerful mind shift happens that you say, no more. I'm not going to allow myself to continue be in this state. And there's where you gain strength for just determining within yourself that I'm going to rise up and I'm going to fight for what is mine, for what is yours. My life, your life is yours. Your soul belongs to you. Your relationships belong to you. Your finances belong to you. So when are you going to just say, I'm no longer with my childhood pain, no longer with the pains of the past? That will not define my future. That will not define who I am today. And also no longer will it impact my decisions in my future. No longer with my haters define who I am. No longer with those people that's trying to really destroy me have any impact in my life. There comes a time where you're going to say enough is enough, that I am standing up for me. I am making a change in my life. I am now transcending and transforming because I am ready to do the work. And if anybody that's highly negative and toxic, and you find yourself on this channel, then I'm sorry. Because maybe this is triggering you to say that, oh, wait, let me take a step back. It's time for me to take a step back and re-examine my life. And stop trying to completely destroy someone else's. Just focus on me. Just focus on yourself for this one time. Because nobody in this entire world, on this entire earth, has not made a bad decision, has not done something that has been completely contrary to what you were taught. And it comes a time where you say enough is enough, and I'm going to make a difference. It reminds me of that Michael Jackson song, I'm going to make a change for once in my life. Just once. One small good change leads to another good change. And for those of you that's on the other side and you feel broken, and now you just turn all that brokenness inside and you're just in a very complex state, humanistic state, emotional state. It's time for you to rise up and just make a decision that starting today, I'm going to make one positive change moving towards my future. If I've always wanted to go back to school and finish my high school diploma, or go back to school and finish my college degree, or go back to school and finish my master's degree, or go back to school and finish my doctorate or PhD degree, I'm starting to make that change now. I'm no longer going to procrastinate. I'm no longer going to stay in a state of brokenness. This is the mindset shift that you have to have so that you can now find your true intrinsic voice. Every single person that has been extremely successful had to take this mindset shift. And this mindset shift is going to be absolutely pivotal to your next level. And if you never take the time to say, I'm going to take a step back and just re-examine your life, re-examine your perception of where you're currently at. Take a deeper look into your past, but not in a way of embracing this shame and this blame. Because as I mentioned in the beginning, the individuals that already traumatized you, they're not going to take any responsibility because they are severely broken. They're not operating from a place of emotional stability. So they're not going to take any type of responsibility. And this is something I remember experiencing with my adopted parents, is that when I finally went back to try to see, well, will they ever acknowledge what happened? Never once did they try to fix it. Never once did they try to reach out and say, I'm sorry. So if you're waiting from a sorry and an apology from a very toxic person, you're going to be waiting till you're just in the grave. It's not going to happen. So that's why I'm really I'm expressing passionately that you're going to have to take the reins of your own minds and your own life and start to pick up your life again and begin to heal and stop running from your healing. Stop running away from those aspects of yourself that was really meant to destroy you. But they're not. Because I believe and I know that once you start to pick up the pieces of your broken soul, as you start to pick up the pieces of your life, you're going to start to discover that, wow, I can get through this. I will get through this. You begin to see that you can do it. It's like the little engine that could. I think I can. I think I can. And then eventually it starts to really, you start to believe it. But the longer you sit there wallowing and waiting for an apology, waiting for closure for someone that really did you really bad, waiting on an apology, waiting on whatever, you're wasting time. And this is something I really want to stress here for you guys, because I'm just thinking back on my life and just bad decisions I made. And I'm thinking that so many of those decisions happened because I was in so much pain from this traumatic childhood. Just wishing that one day that they will say, I'm sorry, like, let's sit down and let's just talk about this and what can I do to rectify this situation? What can I do to actually make it better? Even if they didn't say that, even if they just did it, it never happened. Never. So then, as a young adult, as a young woman, I had to decide. I had to carry that burden alone. And this is what I'm saying, is that now you have to start relying on a higher power now. Don't wait till you're 10, 20, 30 years down the road. Start allowing this burden to be carried with God, because you cannot do this on your own. And you're not happy. You find yourself miserable because you're trying to carry a heavy burden that, first of all, it wasn't yours. It wasn't meant for you. But now you find yourself engulfed in this traumatic cloud around you. Not only around your mind, it's like everything is locked up. But right now, I want to encourage you that it's time to be released from that. And as you just reach out your hands, reach out your heart, reach out your soul, and just tell God that, I can't do it by myself. Like holding on to this unforgiveness from my past, from those that hurt me, that traumatized you, that, did you dirty. That came up because so many of you guys have really been dealt treacherously. But holding on to all of that negativity is really detrimental to your transformation. And this is why when I really think back to going through all that pain, and I'm not sharing all the specific traumas right now because I'm going to be transparent with my story. But right now, I'm not doing that because I don't feel led. But however, as you going back and just thinking about those different events that happened and how traumatic they were in my childhood, it left me in a place of absolute vulnerability. To say not only vulnerability, but when you have no covering, when you have no one that's looking out for you. That's why I'm stressing that now is the time to start looking out for you, to start standing up for you, connecting back to the infinite one, connecting back to God, the creator of the heavens and the earth is what's going to help you have a covering, tap into a power that's more powerful than the trauma that was inflicted from you for upon you as a child, the trauma that was inflicted upon you in that relationship, the trauma that was inflicted upon you in that illness that you're fighting or dealing with, whether it's physical or mental. Your soul will always cry out to God, no matter if you're conscious of it or not. And this is why I am reinforcing this shaking so that now your soul can now reconnect back to your mind, your thoughts. Because so many of you have become disconnected from that. It's like you're thinking one thing, you're feeling another thing. It's absolutely conflicting. So it's time to get all of your entire being back in alignment. And you can no longer continue to be in this state because you have things, dreams, aspirations, visions to accomplish. And you're still stuck on level one. And I'm a person that speaks the truth. Again, if you're not ready for it to really change your life, get off the channel. Don't watch it because it's going to be triggering for you. Because you're so used to individuals kind of, sugarcoating it. And in sugarcoating, you're going to year after year after year after year, you're going to be going through the same thing to the point where it starts to feel very robotic or very like a cycle. So when you're ready to break free, you're going to be led to this channel. When you're really ready to transform, you're going to be led to Rebirth a Gift. Because this is heavy lifting here. And I know this. I know my calling. I know my purpose. This is going to be heavy lifting for you. However, as you start to do the work, as you start to build yourself back up upon a faith that is bigger than your humanistic mind. And so many of you, all of you are highly intelligent. And this is why this is going to resonate with you, because you're going to say that in my own intelligence, I know that with this problem, I can't solve it myself. I've tried. In your own intelligence, you know that in your own mindset, despite the traumatic mind and emotions, you know that you cannot resolve this problem alone. And that's what's going to push you towards the right solution, the right implementations that's needed to transform your life. You're going to say, no longer will I be diminished or reduced. As you build yourself up, you will begin to see that everyone that really impacted you in your life, everyone that ripped your soul apart, as you begin to heal, you're going to see that it was necessary. And again, this channel is not for the weak. This channel is for the strong. You're going to realize that it was necessary. That even when you were at your lowest moment, ready to throw in the towel, when you heal and you come through it, and you get to that level that you were already predestined to be at, you're going to realize all of it was necessary. And that's the place that I'm pushing you to. That's the place that I am gonna keep pressing you into. Because when you start to see that it was all necessary, when you start to actually get into that bigger picture of your life, you're going to see that every single experience was leading up to one moment. It reminds me of that Eminem song, Lose Yourself in the Moment. You only get one shot. Do not take your chance to blow. Opportunities come once in a lifetime. Am I saying the lyrics right? But it's close. You're going to start to realize that everything, all the trauma, every time somebody rejected you, every time they talked about you, every time they scandalized your name, every time they blamed you for things that you did not do, every time that they inflicted so much trauma upon you. Like some of y'all had so many hits, it's like your head is like, you know, when a boxer, you like in a ring, you like pop, 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 and it's like your head is dizzy. Yeah, you guys got them types of blows. But that's when you know. That's a significant sign that your destiny is great. And that if you just get through this one obstacle that seems like the death of you, I understand. Once you get through that one obstacle, you're going to see that it was worth it. It was worth me enduring. It was worth me pressing through. It was worth me getting knocked down time after time after time. It was worth the betrayals. It was worth the negativities. It was worth the attacks. You're going to start to realize it was all worth it. And that's where that powerful place is where you're going. It may not seem like it now because you're still in you're in the beginning of this process. But as you stick to the process of healing and transformation, you're going to see that it was worth it. Every single thing. And I know it may sound like completely absurdity, if that's a word. It may really seem absurd, insane, and crazy. And you probably like, let me click off of this. But pause. Don't. Because it's going to make sense. Trust me. Once you get through the healing, you do the inner work, you connect back to God because you're saying, I can't do this no more. I need guidance. I need help. And I don't want to end up like my mother. I don't want to end up like my dad. I don't want to end up like my grandmother. I don't want to end up like my cousin or my friend that lost their lives for so many various reasons. And that also can trigger your trauma. But once you say, I am going to really stand up for myself, I'm going to really make the necessary changes, I'm going to do the work. This is not going to be a quick fix. You will begin to see that at the end of this journey, because it is a journey. And another thing I want to stress is that you're going to need help, the right help, not the people that's the yes men. You're going to need some no men. You're going to need some people that has been there, that knows what you're going through. Because one thing that irks me the most, just irritates me, is when I hear someone try to tell me about my life or my situation. Well, you ain't walked my shoes, baby. You ain't been in my shoes. So if you ain't been in my shoes, you can't tell me what to do and what not to do and how to feel, how not to feel, because you ain't been there. And that's how so many of you are feeling. You feel like you can't tell me nothing. Oh, I've been there. And that's one reason why I didn't listen to certain people. Because if you have not been there, how can you effectively turn me into it? How can you perfectly direct me into the direction? You're just being judgmental because you have not been in my shoes. So if you ain't been in my shoes, you have no right to prejudge the state that I'm in. So this is how so many of you are feeling, is that you're alone in this journey, but you're alone because you're not tapping into the higher power. You know you're strong, but sometimes there are things, there are situations in life that is meant for you to now acknowledge that for this situation, I got to tap into something higher that's going to help me, not keep me in a state of subconsciousness and not awakening. No, that's going to help me awaken. Because I have no more time to waste. You're thinking that I have no more time to waste. Like, this here situation got to come to an end. I have to find the right solution. It's time. So this is where you're at. And I want to really encourage you that take that energy, take that tenaciousness, take that resiliency, and now use that to break free from those things in your life that you know are not good for your progression. It's not good for your elevation. It's not good for where you're going. So sometimes you could become your worst enemy. And that is more dangerous than, for instance, my adopted parents that would not say that they were sorry. When you become your worst enemy, because you're now basing all of your strength upon yourself, when yourself right now is in a broken state. So that's why I really want to encourage you that it is time. It is time to make the decision that started today. I'm going to make a change for once in my life, just one positive change. I'm going to really think about where my life is, where your life is. You're going to think about where your life is right now and start making the necessary changes based on what you feel after you have connected back to the source. Because God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, is just waiting for you to just ask for the help. And that's why I stress being in a safe place, in a safe pace, in a safe place, in a safe space, where you can actually grow. You can have those moments. It's like in a place of isolation where you're not around anybody. It's just you and God. God is everywhere. God is just waiting for you to connect back. Open your heart, open your soul, open your mind, your emotions, and your will to say that this particular situation, now I'm strong. I have a lot of strength. This is what you're thinking. I'm strong. I'm a strong woman. I'm a strong man. But this situation here, I need something stronger, more powerful than me, more powerful than you. And this is how this mindset shift needs to happen. This is why. Because it's going to be so worth it in the end that you're going to see that, oh my gosh, I can't believe it that I waited this long to reconnect. And it's going to help you tremendously through your transformational process, because this is a process. When you've gone through, just think about it, as I mentioned before, if you are hit by a tractor truck, then this is a physical trauma. Millions of you are dealing with emotional trauma, psychological trauma. Imagine how long it takes for you to recover. And when you're recovering from that, don't you need nurses? You need a doctor. You need a hospital. You need medicine. You need physical therapy. So think of this trauma you experience as like you need a doctor, physical therapy. You need therapy, or you need emotional support. You need healing. You need restoration. And then as you go through that healing, after being injured in this magnitude, you find you find a new meaning for life. And this is what is waiting for you. A new meaning in life, a new beginning, a new expression of your humanistic self, a new way of analyzing your life and analyzing and thinking about your life and where you're going. What is your purpose? What is your calling? What's your destiny? What does that look like? But you're not going to be able to think about those things when your mind, your will, and your emotions, your soul is traumatized. And this is deeper than just you. Because think about it. If you have anyone in your life that you love, anyone, that even includes your pets. Because some of you may be like, well, I don't like people, whatever, however you feel. But even your pets, if you all off whack, don't you know, your pets are like, ah, they're like shaking and they're all off the mark. That was a little humor there, but you get what I'm saying. So it's the same. It's like when you are not your best, when you have not healed, when you have not done the inner work, when you have not connected to God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, when you have not acknowledged that this is bigger than me, like I can't do this alone. That's when you don't acknowledge those things, that's what inhibits your transformation. And this is why channels of this nature is so vital, because it like wakes you up. Because sometimes we need another voice besides those that's around us and those that's in your mind, your own inner voice, or whatever you're watching on TV. Sometimes you need a voice that's going to really challenge your thinking process, your behaviors, where you're currently at. And sometimes, I mean, 100% of the times, you don't need someone to tell you just what you hear, what you want to hear. You need someone to tell you the truth so that now you can break free and start to explore your healing process, your healing journey, your transformational journey. And it's continuous. Once you get to one level, then you say, okay, I'm ready to go to the next level. And as you begin to get those victories, that's when you start to realize it was worth it. That's where you're trying to get to say that it was worth it in the end, that I made it through, that you made it through. That's when you begin to see the fruits of the work, the inner work. That's when it starts to be revealed to you the true reason why all of this happened. And I want to end that here because that was a lot to digest. And I want you guys to really listen to the video over and over again and allow yourself to feel again. Allow yourself to connect to the infinite source, to God that created you, that knows you better than yourself, that knows every hair that's on your head. But this trauma, this very, very painful experiences is blocking that connection. And I'm here to reconnect you back, to kind of ring that alarm, like that red light that's just flashing, warning, warning, warning. It's time. And you're going to see that it was so worth it. So I'm going to say a prayer here for you guys. So Father God, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for everyone that's on this channel that's going through so many detrimental experiences. They're experiencing this trauma. They're experiencing this pain and this agony that's happening in their lives, that's happening to people that they love, that's happening in the earth and around them. I pray, my prayer is that you touch them. You touch them right where they are, that they can now be set free in a powerful way and begin to be healed and transformed and renewed and restored as a result of all these painful experiences that they have been long suffering, but now they are ready to heal. They are ready to come into the newness of their life. They're ready to see what is next for them. They're ready to grow and be transformed, not only in their mind, their will, and their emotions, but in their spirits. They're ready to be to be renewed, so that now their lives can now move forward. That now they can step into their destiny, their purpose, their visions for not only their lives, but the lives of their family will begin to come into fruition for them. I cover them, Lord God. I pray that you cover them as well. That you walk with them. You let them know that you're there with them. That you speak to them how you speak to them. And that their hearts will become opened so that now they can start that dialogue, that honest dialogue with you. That prayer is deeper than just a simple word. But prayer is a heart dialogue, a heart conversation about what's really bothering them, what's really impacting their lives, what's really causing them to feel so detached, not only from you, but from themselves, but from their visions, from their goals, from the ones that they love. That you're going to begin to pull them to you, draw them to you, so that now that they will know that you are real, that everything that they have gone through, as they begin to heal, as they begin to reconnect to you, they will know that it was all worth it. It was all worth it in the end, that they are being transformed powerfully, being renewed as a result of what you are doing in their lives. And they will no longer become stagnant or prideful, but as they start to be renewed and restored because of that relationship with you has been renewed and restored, and as they heal, they begin to see that this is bigger than me, they begin to rediscover their purpose and the reason for them coming into the world. And I pray, Lord God, that you release a powerful healing and transformational anointing upon them as they go through this journey, as they are transformed by your power, that as they are transformed by your anointing, as they are transformed to be exactly who you predestined and called them to be, they will begin to see clearly why all of this happened. They begin to see clearly how powerful your hand is when it comes to healing and transforming their lives. And I seal this prayer, and I trust you, God, that you're hearing this prayer and that you're going to touch them right where they are, no matter what walk of life they're in, no matter what they've done in their past, no matter what they're involved in now, no matter who they are, their economic status, their sexual status, whatever their state is, their humanistic state is, that you still love them and you want to heal them and restore them. And I seal this prayer in your son, Jesus' mighty name, in Yeshua, mighty name. Thank you, God. Woo! Amen. So I just wanted to encourage you that it's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. And as you heal, you will begin to recover every aspect of your life that the darkness tried to destroy. You begin to see the light as your soul begins to light up again. As your spirit begins to light up again, you will see the light and you will feel renewed, set free, joyous, peaceful. So I just want to encourage you that it's time for your rebirth experience, because rebirth, it is a gift. I'll see you on the next one.